You saw that time code right. I'm going to spend this much time talking about a trailer, because it does psychic damage to a person, and I've had to see it multiple times. Let's talk about One Night Only.
I'm hungry.
Huh?
I'm hungry.
Huh?
I'm so hungry.
We're closed.
I know the owner.
I'm here at AMC 16 in sunny Evansville, Indiana. It is currently 7-something at night, which means I should be in here watching The Screen Unseen this week. Truth be told, The Screen Unseen this week is a Angel Studios joint.
Ain't got no time for that crap!
So, I elected to, instead of wasting 2 hours of my life on Young Washington, a movie that feels like a 30 Rock gag brought to life, I want to talk about another movie that feels like a 30 Rock gag brought to life that isn't even out yet. One Night Only.
Finding love is hard enough. Try doing it on the one night a year single people were legally allowed to have sex. I hate this night.
The premise of this movie is, what if The Purge, but for fucking? No, I'm not cutting stuff out of the trailer to make it more paper thin than it seems. That is all of the explanation you get. In a world where single people fuck once a year, what would that be like? Is this anything? This movie should not be called One Night Only. It should be called Is This Anything? Here's the thing, if you're an adult who lives an adult life, you will have several questions about how this works. I've read some interviews with the director, and it should be noted this director, whose last name is Gluck, there is an interview where he sort of infers people have sort of forgotten the political impetus that would lead to the United States making it illegal for anyone to have premarital sex except for the fuck purge once a year. I feel like there have been a lot of things that have changed over the last 250 years of this country existing. There are many, many, many political moments where something huge and sweeping changed, and we remember every single moment of it. It's almost like making that law would have Handmaid's Tale level global implications. It's one of those movies where New York is the only place that exists in the world because it happens in New York. It's like the fifth character, baby. One Night Only is about Jeremy Allen White said no and brown hair lady number 15 having a night where they could just bone immediately, but there's too much romance. Ay, they're having too much romance. And it's a movie where the romance is important. It's not about the sex. I took the trailer to several friends and I was like, hey, if you have anything to say about this movie, send me some voice messages and I will get you in the video. Dallas had something to say.
I have things to say about that trailer. Watching it made me feel physical pain. I hated every second of it. I can only imagine how much pain I would be in if I watched the actual movie. The first 15 seconds of that trailer felt like I was watching somebody make a movie out of the premise of POV TikToks. It was horrifying. I don't like it when he does that thing where he like doesn't express with his eyebrows or his eyes, but he does that like weird side smirk. Like that feels like a hate crime to me as a gay man. I don't want to see men make that face ever again in my life. Terrible face. Never make it.
This was also the original photo he sent to express his opinions of the movie, so yeah. I fully understand that Gluck 3000 doesn't want everyone to be hung up on the premise of the movie, and I understand why. The field of romantic comedy is built on just go with it. It's fine. Sometimes that premise is something creative and fun, and sometimes that premise is sexual assault under a different name. And here's the secret to a lot of them, by the way. I'm gonna spoil the whole rom-com genre for you, and calm down all you incels out there. They're like, every rom-com is based on women cheating. Here's the secret. If you want to do a good rom-com that's got a fun premise to it, just say it's magic. Just say it's magic. There are so many of them where the answer is just, it's magic. Think about the directorial debut of Meg Ryan a couple of years ago, which was a grown-up, sexless almost, romantic comedy about her and David Duchovny being exes who meet in a regional airport. And you know why the airport cleans out so that the movie can have a satisfying ending for them? It's just magic. It's just magic. It's fine. It's just magic. So what if people stop getting busy with it in One Night Only? What are the legal implications of this? What happens if you get busted? What's polyamory like in that world? Why can't you just get married and annul it the next day anytime you want? Why? There are so many questions, and unfortunately, most of the answers to those questions are answered with crypto-fascist hellscape. I know we live in one, but it would be a little bit worse in, I almost said one battle after another. It'd be a little worse in One Night Only.
What if, instead of the purge, you could only have sex one night a year? Talk to any conservative woman who is married. That's just her life.
Is One Night Only gonna be the most offensive movie of the year? Hell no, but there's something baffling to the idea of a romantic comedy that is built around a, let's be real, near magical premise that seems almost embarrassed of its own premise. And I can point you to the fact that the trailer doesn't mention the premise until after establishing the chemistry of the couple. These two flirting and talking about, like, what's the best thing about sex? I actually like the after part, because that's... And then we're gonna laugh, because that's not what a dude says, because dudes only want one thing, and it's disgusting. As a Discord server I'm in started calling it, it's clear it's the fuck purge, because they stage it in all the scenes of early on the day that people are like wearing lingerie as normal clothing, and it is the most hypersexual New York has been since the 70s, when it was just the 70s. And listen, I'm sitting here in a movie theater parking lot wearing a X-Men t-shirt I got from DXL. I'm not gonna act like I know jack diddly squat about fashion, but I fully agree with everyone I know who does know about fashion when they say her dress is a war crime. What the hell are we doing, folks?
They dressed her up with the sale rack from the thrift shop that's filled with all of the dresses that came from the costume department of, like, your local community theater.
Will I see it? Maybe. Like I've said before on this channel, I don't go to movies specifically to dunk on them. I go to movies to either give them a chance or because I'm genuinely, like, on its side trying to give it a chance. Like, if I went to see Toy Story 5 right now, it would be because I've heard a lot of people say Toy Story 5 is actually pretty good. And I've also not seen Toy Story 4, so I've not had the joy of Toy Story ruined for me yet. Haha, I just didn't watch the bad one. Screw you. But if I went into Scary Movie right now, it would be because I know I would hate Scary Movie, and I could stand here and rant and rave and yell, and everyone would nod and go, of course, it's a Scary Movie sequel. It sucks. We know this already. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, well, I wish there were good romantic comedies right now instead of dreck like One Night Only, which is afraid of its own premise. And to that, I tell you, You, Me, and Tuscany. It flopped. It flopped hard. Probably because it's a romantic comedy about black people enjoying themselves in 2026's America. But You, Me, and Tuscany is a unabashedly joyful and fun ride. I had so much fun watching that movie. It's a crime that it didn't get anywhere near the attention or money it deserved, and if it's on streaming right now, you should go watch it. If it's not on streaming, you should get ready for it to come out. If it has a physical media release, it's probably not going to have good special features, but I might buy it anyway, because You, Me, and Tuscany feels like somebody bottled that good romantic comedy energy, not that Ashton Kutcher 2000s death of the genre vibe, 2010's death of the genre vibe. So that's probably damn near 10 minutes of me talking about a trailer in a parking lot. I'm now going to go purchase a tub of popcorn and go home and watch a movie. If you liked watching me sit here and yell about an absurd trailer in a parking lot with several people who probably are in earshot smoking cigarettes behind a Texas Roadhouse, you should check out my Patreon, where you can, for free, vote on when I watch kooky old horror movies and like cheap indie movies that I buy the DVDs of. You also can support what I do here by subscribing to the Patreon and paying for this and getting a little bit more behind the scenes, and you get early cuts of stuff. I just recently went on a trip, which is why I haven't uploaded in a while, and my patrons got to see some of what I did early. I even made a vlog for the Patreon that you can't see here, mainly because I referenced things about Kansas while I was still in Kansas, and I didn't want to actually put that on the open internet until I was outside of the state. Fuck Kansas.